Hi crafty friend, it's me, Justine Dvorak from Stationery by Justine, where when I craft my world stands still. Hi, I'm over here on the Pajama Crafter Stamps YouTube channel, and I'm so excited because I get to share the coloring for this card. This card is a two-part series. The first part is going to be over on my channel. It is posted when this video is live, so if you want to see me stamp out these 6 little pieces, you can go ahead and check out the stamping. But over here on the Pajama Crafter Stamps YouTube channel, I'm going to show the coloring. This card definitely is a little bit of a labor of love. I absolutely loved coloring everything about this card and stamping it out. It was so much fun and it kept me sane. I was having kind of a weird week when I was filming this, so loving this stamp and loving the opportunity that crafting has given me to have an outlet for my creativity. So, what stamps am I using? You might be asking yourself. Well, I'm using the stamp You're My Pot of Gold, which is where the leprechaun and the crashing beer mugs are coming from, and some of the shamrocks. And then the other stamp set is called it's called Saint Catrix. I'm so sorry if that train is picking up in the background. I cannot stop a moving train, if you get my drift. Anyway, from the Saint Catrix stamp set come the cats, of course, and the other shamrocks. Now, there's pattern paper from Pajama Crafter Stamps. I don't know if you noticed that yet, but it is new for February, and I really, really like the greens that the new pack has. So it's called Emerald Isle, I'm pretty sure. So take a look at that. They also have some other fun stamps for this month, but this card is going to feature the 2 that are kind of St. Patrick's Day themed. I love St. Patrick's Day. I am not Irish. Maybe I'm Irish at heart. But I figured it would be so fun to make a few St. Patrick's Day cards because I do have people in my life who celebrate quite a bit. So maybe I'll be sending these to them. Now, this card is going to be green, 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 green. So green. And I have been loving learning again how to use my Copics every day a little bit more. Maybe not every day, but most days. And I've been having all these opportunities to learn how to get a better blend. I would recommend, if you are learning yourself, to practice every day. I had a friend recently tell me that and said, practice every day and you will get better and you'll learn how the markers work, how they blend together, learn the colors, and that is my advice for you. So I'm taking my own advice, or my friend's advice, I guess, and now coining it as my own, now telling you to do the same. But with Copic markers, it's a tool to learn, and when I have adorable stamped images to color, it makes learning how to do that skill even more fun. So I'm just adoring these, and I decided that these little coins that are in the cat's little pot of gold are fish. I don't know if you can tell that detail from where my hand is over the video now, but to me it reminded me of goldfish, and I just absolutely love it. I think it's so fun. Now, the beer mugs here, I'm going in with the YR, which is more of like a red or yellow orange. So basically orange, red yellow, which is basically an orange, sorry. And then going in with a yellow and just blending it out. And then I'm going to take a blue and give the handles a little bit more of a glass look. So it's a very simple color here. You'll see on the left I do have that sip sip with the beer mugs crashing. That is my testing scrap. I did not get the stamp perfectly stamped on that one, and I did not want to mess it up. Phantom cap. Anyway, so that is my little testing spot. Now, this blendless marker that I have there is a very strange brand. I don't know where it even came from in my craft room, but it is super juicy, and that's why the cap was moving, so I am not haunted. Anyway, let's move on to the pot of gold. For the pot of gold, I'm going to use some of my C's. So those are the cool grays. And C7 is almost black. So I'm going to put that in all the dark spots. So kind of where the rim is, and then where all the shadows of the coins would be. And then I'm skipping to C3, and this is going to be a mid one because I'm going to go back with C5. The C3 was kind of just to wet the space so my C5 could do its job. And we'll go back in with C3 and then finish with C1. There's my little process. And I do think the blend on the pot of gold here is super fun. Now the kitties. I had lots of fun with the cats. One cat I am going to color after one of my friend's cats from when I was growing up. So that is going to be the one cat, this cat with the pot of gold. And the other cat is going to be kind of after one of the cats that I have had in the past. So I love cats. Let me know in the comments if you have a cat and what your cat's name is. I would love to know. One of my favorite cats growing up that I had was named Anastasia, and she was gorgeous. She was a Maine Coon, and she just was a fluffy princess, if you will. And I just adored her. But that's okay. Back to the coloring. I'm using the same C colors for the hats of the cats and my leprechaun. This kind of gives a cohesive look between my finished card because it's using the same kind of color tones with the pot of gold and the hats. It's just kind of tying it all in. And you'll see here in just a bit, I am going to rearrange how these little panels are placed. And if you watch part 1, you'll see that I am using a die from Waffle Flower that kind of is like that famous one that everyone and their mother has, but it's the postage stamp. So there is a specific spot for each little thing to go, but the beer cup and the cats, I think, no, the beer cup and, yeah, the beer cup and the cat, that's just the cat alone, are almost the same size, so I'm going to switch those up. That was a total tangent, so my apologies. Now it's time to color my little leprechaun here. He is just super cute. I'm going in with a very green, so green 05 or G05, and making his little suit green. Now that's the dark color. Same with the band on the hat. And then I'm going to go in with this very, very vibrant green, which is YG07. It's almost like that neon green. Super bright and pretty and perfect for his little suit. Now, if you look at the full stamp, the leprechaun is kind of leaning up against the pot of gold. And, you know, I did kind of mix and match the stamped images here. So his little arm there is folded and bent, so I just want to add a little shadow under there, even though the pot of gold will not be underneath him. So there, there's all the green for him. And then I'm going to also add just a ton of reds and orange colors to his hair, so he looks very Irish. This will be such a fun one to stamp and color out again. Right now my Scan and Cut is buried. I am shame to admit it, but I need to pull out my Scan and Cut and just stamp out a whole bunch of cats and leprechauns and just color because they're so cute. And I think that really the leprechaun is a good enough size where it could stand alone on a card, and you could add one of the many sentiments that are on that stamp set. They have, "You're my pot of gold," "Life is beautiful," like with the beer, Sip, sip, hooray. It's St. Patrick's Day. Happy St. Patty's Day. Drinking of you this St. Patrick's Day season. No. Drinking of you this St. Patrick's Day. Let's make some poor decisions. There's so many sentiments that possibilities are endless. So stamp out some of the leprechauns. Go ahead and scan them out so they're all cut or fussy cut, whatever you prefer. And then make like 8 of these. I just think that would be so fun. Or you could even grab the stamp set and then on St. Patrick's Day you could make cards with friends or grandkids or whoever. I think this is such a fun stamp set. Pair the cats and the leprechauns together. So I'm just swooning over here as I color in all of my little shamrocks. I'm kind of using 2 tones from my shamrocks. I'm having them be kind of a darker shamrock pair and then a lighter one. So I'm switching off my colors here and just kind of spreading them out on my little panels just so they're not all clumped together, like a whole bunch of dark ones, a whole bunch of light ones together. Just want it spread out. So everything kind of has a cohesive look. And it will be so much easier to pick my background paper if I have everything just so. Here I am deciding that I'm going to probably switch things up. It's so funny. I kept moving this little 6 panels around as I went, but I can see myself using other stamp sets and making similar panels with this style. Okay, so for whatever reason, I did not get the leprechaun coloring of his hair on camera, so you can go ahead and pause if you needed to see those marker colors, but I don't remember what happened. My camera must have died or something, but I do remember thinking to myself, what? No, it didn't work. So we'll just move along to the coloring of my cat. So I'm going to do the one on the bottom here a little darker. I definitely could not decide on the color palette here for this cat. I tried to remember what the one cat looked like that I was thinking of, and I just kept second guessing myself. So you're going to see a lot of marker colors and things happening here. I am satisfied with how it turned out, but we are on a journey together here, friend. Marker colors galore. I could not help it, and I added this R20, which is R20, to my leprechaun's cheeks because I think it adds a little life to the characters. I really like when stamped images have just a dot for the eye because I'm not the best colorer and I get a little bit intimidated sometimes where the coloring of eyes and hair come into play. But I like that my leprechaun, it does have like that bang there because it gave me a chance to practice coloring on that hair. I am so amazed by people that can color with Copics so effortlessly, it seems. But I know that they practiced. I know they have to practice, just like me. Another really fun part about both stamp sets that I'm working with today are the really cool fonts that are on both sentiments. Both stamp sets. They are really pretty. There's a lot of like really scripty, and then there's that bold, chunky font, and I just am such a font person, and I am loving all of them. I think my favorite font is the one that says "You're my pot of gold," and I still have yet to make a leprechaun card with that sentiment, but it is on my to-do list and it's in my brain. If you've heard me talk about it before, but once I get a card in my brain, I have to make it so it gets out of my brain because it's kind of all I think about for a while. And if you saw my dinosaur, that was like the rock and roll dinosaur with the flames, I had to make that card. It was in my brain. It was New Year's Eve, and I just had to make it. And I stayed up extra late. I usually don't even stay up till midnight. on New Year's Eve, but I definitely did this year because I had to make that dinosaur rock and roll card for whatever reason. So, like I was saying, the fonts are fabulous on both stamp sets, per usual for Pajama Crafter stamps. They really do have great fonts, so I shouldn't be that surprised, but I really did enjoy my first glance at the stamps, and I've loved using the stamped sentiment so far. The one that says "Let the shenanigans begin," I have a plan for that one, and we're going to make a gift card holder in a future video, so super excited about that. Alright, let's get to the gluing. I'm just showing you the gluing. This die is not the focus of the video, so I'm not going to show gluing on every single piece. The star of the show is clearly the stamps, so that's what's happening here. I'll just put this little guy on, and then with some video editing magic, poof, they're all going to be on and set. Ha! There it is. Then I'm going to take some foam and pop up this die. I think it looks kind of fun where there's a little shadow behind the little dots that are on this die. And I'm going to use some foam tape, some chunky foam tape that is. And I'll just show you just a little taste of it. If you haven't used foam before, I definitely recommend it. A lot of people say like dimension gives life to the card, so this is a kind of a flat card. The stamped images definitely are not flat because I hope that I did a decent job shading, but giving a dimension to even a flat panel can really oomph up a card and make it even more exciting. And I like to kind of piece together my foam, so there's no shame in using every little bit. There's no wasting around here, let's just put it that way. And again, with some video editing magic, we will skip to adding it to my card base. Ta-da! Lots of foam. These green papers I just pulled from my stash. I used my panel to guide my color choices, and sometimes when I get stuck with what Copic marker to use, I will grab my background paper and then kind of match it from there, but this time I let the Copic colors guide my paper choice. So just thought I'd throw that out there. Sometimes the little nuggets of detail or inspiration in these videos are a little bit scattered when it comes to me, so hopefully you're sticking with me through this longer video, and if you have any questions, let me know. I'd love to help out, and I would just encourage you to check out the rest of the release from Pajama Crafter Stamps, and some of their newer stuff just is so fun, and I'm having so much fun here. I'm just making a smiley face with my glue. I told you, this card put me in such a good mood, and if you're having a rough day or a rough week, here is a crafty virtual hug for you, and I would encourage you to make something just for fun and have a blast. And then if it's a Pajama Crafter Stamps item, post it on the Pajama Crafter Stamps and Friend Facebook group. It's so fun to see what people are making with the wonderful products, so I would love to see what you're making. Be sure to go ahead and like and subscribe to this channel, the Pajama Crafter Stamps channel, and if you have any questions, once again, let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. Let me know what you think about this one, and we'll see you later. We'll see you next time. I'm going to be posting quite a few videos this month with this release, so be on the lookout for some more. Bye-bye, crafty friend.